Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Ashley and I'm here to bring you a new picker card reading. We have a new moon in Aquarius right now, so I decided to grab a few of my moon decks and do kind of just whatever spirit is bringing out for you, pick a card. So this is whatever you need to know, whatever is most pertinent, that sort of thing. I have the Queen of the Moon Oracle from Stacey DeMarco, the Moonology deck from Yasmin Boland, the Wisdom of the House Night cards from PC Cast and Colette Baron Reed, and a few other decks that wanted to come in and give some messages. We have Madame Endor's Fortune cards, and Notes from the Universe from, I think that's the only one I don't know the name of right now. If I can find the box. From Mike Dooley. There's the only one I don't know the name of off the top of my head, guys, sorry. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. We'll get into piles, get them into piles. And then, of course, I'll put the timestamps below. But I hope you guys are enjoying I'm sorry, I said new moon in Aquarius, but it's a full moon in Aquarius. A lot of interesting things have came out for me, so I felt very called to do this for you guys. I'm going to cut the decks and do 3 piles, and then we'll get into things. Okay, so we'll do pile number 1. Pile number 2. And pile number 3, guys. Let me just put these other ones off to the side, give you a second to choose. So pile number 1, 2, and 3. Let's get into pile number 1. So we have card number 13, Will. We have a full moon in Virgo, you are enough. We have honesty. We have your luck will soon change. We have black cat. And then we have don't be misled. When I was showing this card first, it was a very funny energy, like it didn't feel like it belonged. And I really feel like, especially with the messages that came out with the rest of your reading, pile number 1, is that this energy of will is not yours. Somebody is trying to bend you to their will and get you to do the things that they want for them. Things that don't align with you. It felt very, very funny, and it's kind of the odd man out when it comes to energy-wise with these cards. And I think especially with the Notes from the Universe, don't be misled, is talking about this will card. This will card is not yours. And I think a lot of this has to do with I really feel like this honesty is going both ways. The person who's trying to bend you to their will is misleading you, is not being honest to you, but also you're not seeing the honesty within yourself. And the honesty is coming from there's that saying, from God's lips to your ears. So from the universe's lips to your ears, you are good enough, and you need to get into a space of being honest with yourself about that energy and about that realization. Some of us have to do a lot of shadow work to get there, to get to the point where we have that good self-worth in life. The universe loves to bring me things that I've gone through myself, and this is something I've gone through for myself. And it took a lot of time for me to be honest with myself to get through that ego and that cultural shaping and that egotistical shaping and the depressive shaping of a very low, shaping me into a very low self-image. But if we're honest with ourselves, we have a great deal of love for ourselves. We have a great deal of acceptance for ourselves as we are right now. Excuse me. And when it comes to things like self-worth, self-love, and self-care, accepting yourself is one of the biggest things that you can do for you, just in general. But accepting yourself as you are right now is a huge step in the right direction for your healing. And it may involve a lot of shadow work, but it's something that's supposed to be for you. And I think that this energy is coming out because this person is very much accepting of you in ways that you're not necessarily accepting of yourself right now. And for those of you who resonate with that, honestly, just because somebody accepts or says that they accept a part of you that you're not okay with, it's a beautiful thing. But I don't feel like this person is being truthful to you when it comes to that. I feel like it's very much an energy of they're using you. So I don't 100% feel that they're actually truthfully accepting of this. And number two, it really comes down to us accepting ourselves. And as a plus size woman, I've had many people who do not accept me because I am larger. Like, that is their issue with me, is that I've had many people, especially when it comes into relationships, that say, hey, like, you're beautiful, but you're too fat. And at the end of the day, like, it's not up to anybody else to accept me as plus size, as fat, as whatever I am today. It's up to me to accept myself in that situation right now. And I love myself right now, and quite honestly, it took me a while to get there, but I do. I understand. I became very honest with myself. I understand what issues I have with weight, what issues I have with food, and I was able to move them into a very healthy way, or in a very healthy place, instead of letting others accept it for me, and then when their acceptance or they themselves are gone out of my life, I just fall apart. It's about you accepting yourself, and the universe is telling you that you are good enough. And if you're honest with yourself, you will remember that you're good enough in life. And honestly, whoever doesn't think that you're not good enough, they don't deserve to be around you. A lot of this acceptance, when it comes, will bring you this luck that this black cat is trying to bring in for you, that the universe is trying to bring in for you. Because at the end of the day, if we don't tell ourselves if we don't accept that we're good enough, if we're not honest with ourselves, that we love ourselves and that we're good enough in life, and for anybody who doesn't choose to see that, F them, they cannot be in your life. When we are putting barriers up to those things in life, we're telling the universe that we're accepting less than what we deserve. And less than what we deserve is not a lucky thing. What we deserve is luck and fortune and abundance and happiness and romance and love. And when you don't settle for anything less because you have that love for yourself instead of somebody else holding that for you, or holding that the idea of it for you, you have a attraction to a greater it's a greater level of attraction, and you'll attract people who have a higher vibration and won't use their will to get you to do what they want you to do. But please be warned of this person. I very much love number 13 cards. I think 13 is very lucky. In the core part of this card, that as it is intended in the Queen of the Moon Oracle, it is a very lucky card, but for you the energy is very, very unlucky. The person that you're dealing with that's trying to use you for whatever they're using you for are very much misleading you, and you are so much smarter and braver and worth so much more than what this person is putting on you, and what you're settling for in your life. So pile number 1, beautiful messages for this full moon in Aquarius. Definitely good luck when it comes to that relationship. Definitely, I can feel that you're strong enough to get there. And if I triggered you, again, you know, that happens, but at the end of the day, we all have situations in our lives that we sometimes can't accept at a certain stage of our lives. Believe me, one day will. It's all about baby steps, but it's about treating yourself better so other people in the outside world can treat you better as well, and not settling for anything less than that. Right, moving on to pile number 2. We have Fruition. Beautiful card. We have It's Time to Take Action. My crown chakra is just exploding right now. We have Fulfillment. Beautiful card. I love fulfillment. We have Seek Wisdom and Guidance from Elders, which is the Oracle card. And then we have Dwell on What You Love. It's beautiful. So my crown chakra was lighting up for you guys in pile number 2. And it was showing me the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is very much a card of waiting for things to come into fruition. And waiting for things for your harvest to become ripe. And what's going on is the universe is saying that this is kind of the after effect of the 7 of Pentacles. It is time for you to for you to reap your harvest and to be fulfilled when it comes to your situation in life. Masking what this has to deal with, so give me just a moment. Okay, so they're talking about like romantic relationships and family. They've been talking about the 9 and 10 of Pentacles when it comes to that fulfillment and fruition. The 10 of Pentacles is like one of those beautiful end of a journey cards that is just full of abundance, full of family, full of it's a time of not worrying. It's a time of celebration, like the wine in this card shows, and it's a time to be happy and to be around the people that you love, to be in those situations that you love. Spirit is talking to me about how it's time to take action on the things that bring you more of that love. They're saying to bring in that wisdom from elders, that guidance from elders, whether it's your guides, it's galactic elders, elders here in the 3D or the universe itself, your higher self, either within you spiritually or outside of you. It's whatever resonates with you. Passed on loved ones as well. Whatever resonates with you, pile number 2, for you to gain that wisdom to choose to stay in this. They're saying that the Dwell on Love card came out for you to stay in that fulfillment, and to take action to stay in that fulfillment. And it's not about being so positive that you're going to shun all the negative, and that you're not going to deal with the negative and deal with the shadow. It's about being in this energy of the Ten of Pentacles or the Ten of Cups, but the Ten of Pentacles, where you're bringing in not only that beautiful family life, that beautiful relationship life, but that beautiful abundance when it comes to healthiness and happiness. Staying in that energy. So seek guidance when you need to stay in that energy. And instead of dwelling on what can happen to mess it up or the other shoe dropping, dwell on what can you do to keep this within you? What can you do on a daily basis? What action can you take, whether it's meditation or, I love baking. So if baking every day is something, even something small makes me happy, to spend time and do it instead of letting my life get to me to a point where I'm just waking up, showering, go to work, come back, do it all over again the next day. Find moments in your day where you can set time aside to do those actions that make you feel grounded, that make you feel fulfilled, that make you feel like you're in that beautiful, loving energy of the Ten of Pentacles. And if it takes seeking out information from other people, then that's not something that's wrong. The one thing that I love about the Ten of Pentacles card, I'm going to try and find it for you guys, is that there's many people in the Ten of Pentacles card, but they're all different ages. So it's about having that openness to have that understanding that there are people out there that have more wisdom than you when it comes to things, but not that anybody's smarter than you or better than you. That's not what the Ten of Pentacles is about. It's just other people have other experiences than you do, and with those other experiences comes different ways of looking at the world and looking at perspective. And when we gain more perspective, when we gain more of that wisdom and knowledge, we can be in this fulfillment, in this fruition, and in these positive actions to keep ourselves in that place of love. And this is the Ten of Pentacles, at least in this deck. You can see that there's a very wise old man, there's a young maiden, and there's a child. It's very much a card of being fulfilled at many stages in your life, and also that understanding that you can take that beautiful energy with you throughout the years and use it to your advantage. And instead of having those thoughts that keep on coming up that this other shoe is going to drop, challenge your ego and challenge yourself with the idea that, you know what, the other shoe's not going to drop. So what if the thing that's going to happen to me is not something that's bad, but what if the other shoe drops and it's a positive thing? This is why when I do spreads, I do karma separately than struggles, because they are separate things. So take the other shoe dropping as a more karmic thing, as in, your ego can turn it into like, oh, what a bad thing is coming to us, but you can look at it and be like, oh, well, what good thing can help me get back into this energy and get back into these memories and these stages and this wisdom that no matter how things are in life, no matter what struggles I go through, I'm always persevering, and I'm doing so in a healthy, happy way. Beautiful messages for pile number 2. Let's move on to pile number 3. We have resistance. We have what do you need to release. We have success. We have shield. You are safe from harm. And then the notes on the universe is all there is to love has been there all already. Or all has been there all along. I very much feel like it's very much a progression. So what you're being very resistant to, and the things that you need to release. And a lot of times we are resistant to change because it's not in our comfort zone, and it's very much an ego thing. We're not comfortable when we're outside of our comfort zones, but nothing new, nothing that comes into our lives that we don't know about is in our comfort zone. We're very much thrown new things every single day, whether it's new information, new people, new sensations, new news, or you learn about new subjects in life. I'm very adamant that, like, even if you're kind of a Jack or a Jane of all trades, not everybody knows, everything about everything. Even there's no one person on earth that even knows a little bit about everything, because there's billions of different subjects in the world when it comes to many things, let alone all the categories of information that we have in life. I mean, there's billions of different species of animals and insects alone. So, I mean, it's one of those things that when we accept that the only thing that is a constant in our life and the only comfort zone that it really is okay to be in life is one of change, we have that adaptability and we have that flexibility to move to new avenues that are going to be the best for us. And if you look at the space that you're in right now, you obviously wouldn't be doing these readings if it's a space that you're 100% comfortable with. There's something in the space of energy or physicality or thought that you're just not comfortable with in general. So, I mean, you want to have that information and that kind of, you want to gain that knowledge to move yourself out of there. And that comes out of moving from the comfort zone, from your comfort zone. So stop resisting this comfort zone. I know it can be scary, but going through the fear when it comes to comfort zone is a part of healing. Having that release of fear, release of your comfort zone, this is a part of you healing and like moving up the stairway or along the path in your life. We all do it naturally, and it's one of those things that, the natural transitions are something that we look back and we're like, oh, I transitioned, but I didn't even know it. But I had a struggle here and I had a struggle there. When we're more self-aware of stepping out of these comfort zones and gaining this new knowledge and this new perspective, it can be a little bit more scary. But at the end of the day, if we deal with that fear, we can have less struggle when it comes to those transitions. And then at the end of the day, when it comes to our adaptability, our flexibility, our ability to move into the place that we are, I very much have come to the self-awareness of this once I started on my path. But every single time I go through a transition, every single time I go through a meditation, every single time I clear something, I really feel like the pieces of me are getting back, like reset back to my true higher self every single time I do something to help myself in a positive, healthy, happy way. And when you're able to release that resistance from your life and from this fear, you'll get more of those pieces of you back, those feelings of you're walking towards yourself again. You'll have that peace and that stability back, and remembering that everything, All there is to love has been there all already. The pieces of you that you are trying to find are already here within you. You just need to open your heart to the love of it, to the brilliance of it, to the awareness of it, to the healing of it, to find those, places within you. It's like you are, I very much see it as like, a lot of people talk about how we're part of this really huge universe, but if you look within ourselves on a microscopic level, it looks like a universe as well. So I kind of look at it that way. So like every atom that makes us up who we are is just, it's a little light that can be turned on or turned off depending on our circumstances. And if we choose to stay in fear, we choose to stay in resistance and choose to not move forward, those lights start turning off. But us as empaths, us as sensitives, us as light workers, if we choose to go through that healing to release resistance, to release that fear, to heal that within us, those lights start turning on, and our whole being is no longer in shadow the more lights we turn on. So we realize that the love that we've been searching for is within us and around us all along. The universe is trying to tell you that if you can get through this, if you can get into this understanding and into this healing, to remember that there's one card that says you and your loved ones, so I wanted to make sure, but you are safe from harm when it comes to this. A lot of times we get into that fear because we think that the unknown is going to be something that's going to harm us, and the universe is trying to tell us that it's not. You're going to be very successful at this, as well as successful in life in general. And I fall trap to this a lot too. Fearing success is a different fear than fearing, than simply surviving through the day-to-day. Sometimes our comfort zone is the survival of the chaos and the survival of the drama, but when we're healing ourselves and on the road and on the path to lighting up every single atom within us to have a life of healthiness and positivity and happiness and stableness, we don't know how to deal with success in these times because we've never actually felt that feeling of success. It's not comfortable for us. But I can tell you guys right now, just moving from where you were to where you are right now, that is a huge success. That is a huge, that relief, that stability, that happiness that you can feel where years ago you might not have been able to feel it. And again, speaking from personal experience, it's one of those things that you can look at that and realize that was a huge success in itself. So anything that you achieve from there on out, you've already felt it. You shouldn't fear the success. You shouldn't hold on to these comfort zones that only harm you and only cause you trauma and drama because of your fear of succeeding at life. You've already succeeded if you're here doing your thing, moving yourself through life. Remember that you're protected through all of this and that you will be successful. So don't fear it. Don't let that fear, the fear of the future weigh you down, because you've already moved through everything that you've needed to move through. You've already felt the love of success. You've already felt the love from others. You've already had these experiences. You just need to remind yourself that you have. Spirit is saying too that sometimes these things don't come from big firework explosion moments in your life. That's very much kind of I know we all want those experiences in our lives and we all want the fireworks to go off, but that's very much a something that like the movies and Hollywood and books and everything, that's very, I don't want to say fantasy in a bad way, but a very like fantasy way of looking at life. Most things are not this kind of explosion, momentous, like instantaneous awareness or change or that sort of, or love at first sight, like that sort of thing, where fireworks go off for both of you. A lot of times things come into your existence, and by the time you know it, you've moved from who you were to who you are, or who you're meant to be, more and more and more, while you walk along your path. And it can be a very smooth transition if you choose it to be, and if you realize that that's what you've been doing all along. And sometimes we struggle, but we're meant to struggle on this path sometimes. This path is never meant to be very easy or comfortable, because if we were in a place of ease and comfort, we would never move from it. So, beautiful messages for everybody today. Hopefully, whether you picked one pile or both, or one pile, two piles, or all of them, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Beautiful messages for the Aquarian full moon, and I wish you guys the best this week. I'm back into channeling for other people. I know I took a bit of a hiatus from it, but I'm back into channeling for other people. I very much enjoyed doing it, so I'm back at it. Hopefully you guys will join me for the videos in the future, and Patreon will be back in September, so I will see you guys hopefully here soon, and yeah, hopefully these messages resonated for you guys. Have a good one. See you later.